Pisces. I'm at an Etruscan cave, burial tomb, and I'm doing your reading to see if you want to stay around. It is how to set your North compass, but informed by the ancestors. So how to orientate yourself to your right direction with your ancestors coming through to help you. Words from the ancestors for us here. So if that sounds right for you, and it's interesting, it's very solid energy, it's really nice. It's a beautiful central card, which I'll just dive straight into, which is you and the idea of how to set your North compass. You're feeling very abundant, very creative, very nurturing of your creative projects, of your babies, whether they're real people that you look after, or animals, or family. It's a sense of nurturing, but creativity and going with the seasons, very connected to nature. So that's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to see what steps out. It's quite difficult putting these on with my hat. Oh yeah, she's looking right at me. And there's a feeling of Picasso in her face, which I've never seen before. Sort of a Picasso type face, the way it's drawn. I don't know why. Her orange pillow that's supporting her from behind. And the river. And pixelated trees. Yeah, so a feeling of support from that bolster behind her, the orange behind her, but an abstract quality. So maybe this is ancestral, something that you connect to that's slightly abstract for you, or artistic. What's trying to go? Artistic, abstract, Picasso, the support, the pixelated. Yeah, I think it is artistic. The pointed points on the trees. There's something to do with art. Maybe you really want to get something down that's beautiful in art this year, Pisces, or maybe you express yourself well through pictures or through art somehow. I'm not sure. Let's keep building on this reading. So I'm going to pick you some capping cards now. So another tarot. I'm just going to shuffle and then pick, rather than throwing them all over the floor because it's damp in here. And what have we got? The Two of Torches. You have a choice, but this feels very much like a choice because of these two doors, which one to walk through. But you're considering your options. So the Two of Swords, traditionally we're looking out. Alexander with the globe in his hand, thinking about where he wants to go next. So there is a sense of, oh, this is so strange. I don't know why I've done that without reading the rest of the reading. How strange. Well, we'll remember that. Okay. Are you preemptively going into making choices before you've got all your information? Possibly, because that's what I've just done. Anyway, let's get back to the original reading. You're the Empress. You want to create. You're feeling very abundant. It might be to do with art. Your root skills are the Six of Swords. You have the ability to learn your lessons. Take yourself from this rough water here into calmer waters with all parts of yourself, into a future that's slightly not coloured in yet, so therefore meaning not sure yet, but at least you've learnt your lessons. It's calmer. There's a sense of wisdom and all parts being included. It's a mental card, but it's kind of there's a wisdom and a stillness to it. And it's lovely that you're able to take yourself into sort of, maybe this is a self-soothing that you do regularly, that you can learn your lessons, that you can find calmer waters quite easily. Maybe you're rather good at that, navigating difficult territory, because this is your root skill. So that's beautiful. Is there anything that jumps out in this? The hatcheting on his shoulder. So I'm obviously talking to somebody somewhere that's an artist. How he's balanced between these two slats on the boat, and how disappointing the colouring is of this. It's so sort of drab. It could work in another environment, but compared to everything else that's on the table or on the little bench, it's quite drab. So everything else is highly coloured, but I think you can go through those kind of more difficult moments, the drabness of life, and make something of it, learn your lessons. Now, what to let go of is the King of Wands. So it's so interesting because Aquarius had that to let go of as well. You know, that kind of driven, slightly old-fashioned. I can't help but see his orange hair here. Slightly, it's not hair, it's like a sort of little headpiece, but he is redhead. But the orangeness, I'm thinking of old-fashioned male figures in our world stage, even, who are kind of dynamic, self-serving, absolutely kind of driven, but to the extent that they are running roughshod over other people. This kind of creative drive, you're being asked, like Aquarius, to let go of it. Especially, also Aquarius had the in a different position, but they also had the Empress. So there's a feeling of kind of working with, being more still, less driven. I mean, I normally really love the King of Wands, but we're being asked to slow that right down for some reason or other. Anything else? It's starting to rain. How his lizard, which is usually the bit that protects him and sort of informs him from the nature world, is slightly sketchy, like he's not really listening. He's being a bit rash. So let go of that rash side of yourself. How to set your North Compass this year, Pisces, is acknowledgement. You're going to have to get your head around being in the public eye a little bit, I think, with this. It's saying be out there, be on show, be able to be acknowledged for your great successes by your community. There's the wreath of success above, held above. There are all the people watching. There's the white horse that reminds us of the horse that we see in the Sun card, riding with, you know, this is about success. So you need to be prepared to be on show somehow, to be acknowledged. Maybe that really pleases you, and maybe that doesn't, but that is where it's going. Let me see if there's anything else that stands out when I put my glasses on. There's one person here looking a little bit jealous, maybe that's something that you worry about, is being in the public eye might make you a target. Don't worry about that. You need to be out there. I like the green, the chartreuse sort of green of this, is that the right word, of the cape for the horse. That's a rather beautiful colour. Colours are really speaking to me. I do think there's somebody who uses art therapy, art, is an artist, is very visual. And if you're not that person, maybe think about using art, little sketches, drawing, clay, anything to process, to be more here, to be more grounded, to be more empress. And where it's going is this beautiful Knight of Pentacles, a consistency, a sense that you've got somewhere that's stable. So this isn't fleeting. This is a stable position of acknowledgement. And now you're maintaining that. You're able to maintain it with love, which is what he does. He, again, is looking in the same direction as the character in the Six of Wands, but in a different direction from the King of Wands. So he's more aligned with this success. He's looking in the same direction, and he's going to maintain that. He's going to look after it. He's going to do everything, consistent actions, everything, every day that need to maintain that, which is really, really wonderful. The Two of Torches that we preempted before is the choice that you've got to make. As in where to put your energy, how to make the next project that you need to make. Is that what you're considering? I'm not sure. It feels as if you've got to decide whether or not to walk through this door of being seen, to be honest, which some people might feel reticent about. But let's see. I'm going to pull you an oracle card. Let's see what we've got. Fly with the Dreamer. That's gorgeous. The owl on the head. It was lovely. Last night we got back from staying with friends, and my boyfriend went outside quickly, and there was and he disturbed an owl by opening the door and saw its giant wings flying right over him. So there's something of that wisdom of that owl. Let's read from the book, number 12. Now is time for travelling with the sacred Dream Mother. Dream Mother. That's a bit like Yes, and maybe somebody's got a mother in spirit, or obviously female ancestors in spirit who are wanting to talk to you. Let her carry you through the galaxy of possibility. You are being asked right now to eschew practicality, logistics, or even reality. The divine feminine is already speaking to you in the mother tongue of dream language. Enter the conversation with her by paying attention to night dreams. This is a time for nurturing the deep psyche as it seeks to inform you of your next steps or next vision. So this is what needs to inform where you're going to go next. Don't try to control or influence at this stage. Like an infant, completely dependent on its mother to carry it through to adulthood. Relax and rely on the wings of the dream mother to carry you into your next phase of life and love. God, that's nice. That's beautiful. It also reminds me of the Philip Pullman, his last book, The Rose Field. There are some fantastic characters that carry our main protagonists on their wings, and they have to just surrender. They have to hold on, but they have to surrender to this flight. The griffins. I think they're griffins. So that's beautiful. So with that choice, you're going with the mother. You're being asked to go with your ancestral wisdom and your inner empress, which is you, what you have or you have access to in the center of this reading. It has to be received from that place rather than from the masculine driven King of Pentacles. We're being asked to engage more to get the success with this female aspect, the dream mother. Wow, and then the Emperor has turned up to go with our Empress. So you can marry your inner feminine with your inner masculine when you've got the feminine in the lead. She needs to lead. I suggest this is probably always the way. But look at him. He's quite whimsical. He's got these wonderful plants all over him, and his twig moustache, and this cathedral. We just went to a cathedral in Lucca that was amazing, and it had a labyrinth from the 11th or 12th century on the outside that's kind of pagan, but also talking about seeking meaning. So maybe that will mean something to somebody, finding your way through a labyrinth, but allowing the maternal figure to be your guide. And then you get to marry with the Emperor, with the male energy, but only once the woman is, the female principle is in control. And I've never noticed that before, but he's retired his crown to his lap and instead is wearing a cathedral, a space for everybody to worship, a space that's related to earth energies and sound, and yeah, it's sort of more for the collective. So you have got your Emperor and your Empress here. This is really lovely. No wonder there's success coming to you. This is really, really beautiful. And he, again, is looking in the right direction, the same direction as the success. Again, the Empress looks right at us, but the other characters are all looking in the same direction. Your consistent action, bringing success, backed by your Emperor, by all your kings, but your softer Emperor, your Emperor who can serve his queen, his Empress, who lets the female principle take the lead, is the way forward. This is so lovely. Right, finally, we're going to pick you a creativity card to go with this beautiful bunch for this potential artist or someone who gets a lot from art, a lot of inspiration, or works with art or images. And if you're not immediately relating to that, then think about doing that. Trust. Oh, trust that you were born a creative being and have never stopped being one. And there's the female figure again, and the peacock of success with its tail, and they're in communication. And so, yeah, of course, the Empress does things without effort. She is where you need to go to. You need to trust that you have this completely in you. It's part of you. Someone could also work with fabric, because look, I'm looking at all these different pieces of fabric underneath her. But the tail, the beauty, that tail that gets displayed and shown and enjoyed by the world, comes from the trust that you were born a creative being and have never stopped being one. So there's not that much effort required Consistency, yes. But you've learned all your lessons, whether those are in art or emotionally, or you're starting to learn your trade, or what you like to do to express yourself somehow. Maybe it's not art, but you are a creative being, and you've got to listen to your female principle. And that Empress, all the queens together. I hope that helps. See you again.